Brought to you by Penguin.
When I Lost You, written by Merilyn Davies and read by Daisy Badger and Rebecca Lee. Prologue. A screen sits to the left of the judge, and displayed on it is my child, a fragile, beautiful daughter who had barely begun her life before the chance to live it was taken from her. Not lost, the lawyer is saying, his wig a little frayed, in sharp contrast to the fresh youth of his closely shaven skin. Her life wasn't lost, it was stolen. He emphasizes the words, ones I've heard endlessly during the 2-week trial, by looking in my direction. He doesn't linger. It's more a glance, the way a painter uses a gentle brushstroke to shape the outline of an image before colouring it in. But it's enough to make sure the jury remember I am the image he is painting. Mother, killer, guilty. I shift a little in my seat. The packed courtroom is hot, and the white blouse I'm wearing sticks to my armpits. The polyester scratching against my skin. I see a juror glance in my direction and freeze. He's the one my lawyer warned me about. Third one from the left, hipster beard, he'd said in the cell as we waited to be recalled on that first day. Jeans and a tight jumper. He's got it in for you, so make sure you don't fidget too much or it makes you look guilty. But move a bit, because too little makes you look heartless. I am a trapeze artist. One wrong move and I fall into a cell, 7 foot by 9. I steady my breathing and look down at my feet, concentrating on the new brogues I'm wearing. Their brown shine complementing the sky blue suit my husband bought me for the trial. Here, he'd said, handing me the plastic bag he'd paid 5 pence for, then sitting down across from me in the noisy, smelly visiting hall. I'm pretty sure it's your size, but I kept the receipt just in case. I didn't remind him we had no time to exchange it. I just smiled my thanks and stuffed it by my feet, next to the cooler bag full of fruit and biscuits. He took my hand. We'll get you out of here, my love, he said. As soon as they see you, they'll understand, and then this nightmare will be over. I lost myself for a moment in his touch, the lightness of it, a soft caress. I marvelled again at how resolutely he stood by me. Against all evidence to the contrary, he'd refused to ever accept my guilt. But then his words returned. This nightmare will be over. And they dragged me back to the bowels of the prison where the whispered threats told me otherwise. Afternoon. I'm told juries are less focused after lunch, which would explain why the defence has called their next witness, a Thames Valley police pathologist, because no one is going to fall asleep through her evidence. My heart is beating so hard I'm convinced everyone can hear it as the woman walks silently to the witness box and raises her right hand. This is the evidence I've been dreading, the day my guilt is a medical fact, a not to be questioned scientific certainty. Because who is going to question science? Certainly not the plumber sitting at the far right of the jury box, or the local government worker sat 2 in from the left. I reach to pick up my glass of lukewarm water, half empty from this morning, and sip at it. My hand is shaking, and so quickly I lower it back down. I daren't look at the jury in case they are looking back at me, reading the shaking as a sure sign of my guilt. Then, as glass touches wood, the pathologist begins, and each word feels like a nail in my jail cell door. The body showed signs of bruising consistent with being restrained. Restrained? Can you describe why you concluded that? The pathologist raises her wrists. There was bruising on the inside of each wrist, inconsistent with normal movement. The barrister glances at the jury, letting them know this bit is relevant. And what was it consistent with? Being restrained and... She opens her mouth to say something more, but the barrister holds up his hand, and whatever it was is lost, to become part of someone else's story, not mine. Because this is how my trial feels. I'm the lead in a story being written by this barrister, as he deftly guides the...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?